You heard the funny little intro in the beginning. This is the Morning Buzz on WMC 90.3 Upper Montclair, and it is the Wednesday edition of the Morning Buzz. And of course, it's Isaiah, joined by Aidan, Amina,
Oh,
Lana, and good old Anthony. Guys, we got a great show lined up today. For some reason, Trump has found himself back in the news, and not by some reason. That's the way the world of news works. Trump is always somehow relevant. We also talk about some Ukraine updates, a new start time for some schools in New Jersey, and we have an interview with the undergrads, local little YouTuber, social media comedians, whatever they want to be called. That's what we're going to call them. But before we get into all that fun stuff, Amina, we have a lot of things in the world that is happening, and I need you to fill me in on all of them.
sure. So, in national news, 21 states have sued the CDC and other federal agencies to end the country's much debated mask mandate on public transportation. The suit argues that the federal mandate exceeds the CDC's authority and interferes with the state laws banning forced masking. The complaint seeks to end the mandate on public transportation and establish a permanent injunction against its enforcement. So far, the CDC has yet to comment. In state news, a South Jersey man has an incredible amount of luck after buying a $30 scratch off lottery ticket worth $3 million hours after winning $50 and $100 on two other tickets. The New Jersey lottery printed 8,714,020 tickets for the 3 million Ultimate Riches game, which began on July 6, 2020. All three available 3 million tickets have now been claimed. Lottery winners in New Jersey have been allowed to remain anonymous since Governor Phil Murphy signed the bill into law in January of 2020. In local news, Eloise McDaniel, 82, of Irvington, is being sued by the township for filing over 75 requests for township information within a 3-year span via New Jersey's Open Public Records Act. McDaniel, who was accused of several counts, including defamation, harassment, and malicious abuse of process, says she has a legal right to know the information she has requested from the town. The township's attorney did not immediately provide an update on the case, including if proceedings have been scheduled. For the weather today, it is mostly clear with a high of 48 and a low of 26, with a humidity level of 39% and good air quality at 33.
Wow. Thank you very much, as always, Amina. But now that we're filled in on the news, we need to know what is happening in the associations around the United States and maybe even around the world. I don't know what you included today in sports. Anthony, what's going on in sports, man?
Quick shout out, real quick, to my intramural softball team, Chase 28. Huge W last night. But let's get into
score.
sports.
What was the score?
19-0.
Good Lord.
W,
that was mean.
I need to throw that in there. Good W last night, boys.
Hey, shout out to you. Woo.
All right. The NFL announced yesterday that going forward in any overtime contest, each team will be awarded a possession. Before the change yesterday, the rules for overtime were if the team who got the opening kickoff in overtime scored a touchdown, the game would end. After an AFC divisional game that saw the Buffalo Bills get booted due to the fact that they couldn't get a chance with the ball, there has been immense pushback to get this rule changed. The owners met yesterday and agreed to change the rule with a vote of 29-3. All-star guard Paul George returned from a 3-month absence against the Utah Jazz last night. George missed 3 months due to an elbow injury he sustained after a December 22nd game against the Sacramento Kings. George logged 34 points in only 31 minutes, and it's 121-115 W against the Jazz. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson could still be facing NFL discipline, according to Commissioner Roger Goodell. Watson, who recently was acquitted for the 22 accounts of sexual assault, was just traded to the Browns on March 20th. Obviously, these are serious charges, so we're looking at them seriously, said Goodell in a statement to the press. It remains to be seen what the punishment will be towards Watson as the season draws closer. The Nets took down the Pistons last night, 130-123. Kevin Durant dropped a monster 41 points, 11 boards, and 5 assists. The Nets stay at the 8th seed in the conference and are only 2.5 back of Cleveland for the 7th seed. The Rangers beat the Penguins last night 3-2. The NHL's third leading goal scorer, Chris Kreider, picked up 2 points in the win. And the Islanders beat the Blue Jackets 4-3. Semyon Varlamov had an impressive 42 saves in the win as Brock Nelson added a pair of points.
Brock Nelson, everybody. What an exciting time to be alive in sports. And very quickly, before we get on to our first story of the day, Anthony, we talked about a little bit about the overtime rules that you just mentioned. Are you pro this, against this? What do you think?
I am for sure pro this because I always thought it was kind of weird that they didn't let the other team get a chance with the ball because you saw in the AFC divisional game this year with the Chiefs and the Bills, it was pretty much just decided on a coin flip.
Yeah.
Both teams were going to score no matter what because that's just how the game was going. They were scoring touchdowns every drive. And the only way they were going to determine the winner of that game was by the coin toss. And the Chiefs ended up winning the game, which I think was unfair to the Bills because they played such a great game and they didn't get rewarded for it. So I like this new rule. I think going forward, the NFL needs different ways to keep overtime rules fair and keep games more entertaining because I've seen different rules like college and these other semi-pro leagues do different things. And I think it's better for the game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it definitely needed a rule change. I will say, I don't know how I feel about this one in particular. I really like college football, and I've always liked how their overtime works.
I love that too.
I think it's very exciting, and obviously, I feel like that would probably do great in TV ratings for the NFL. But I heard this other option for the overtime rule, which I thought was kind of like pretty cool, but also I understand why no one would want that. But it's, you go to overtime, you get overtime is there, right? So instead of, getting the ball back to each team and all this stuff, you bring it down to the two kickers and then have a kickoff until someone misses. I thought that'd be exciting, because how much of an impact does a kicker have on the game, Then you lead into it, you might as well, it's football. Let's have the foot decide in overtime.
I sort of like that.
Yeah,
idea,
I thought it was interesting. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, it definitely is something to think about.
I think for one of like the minor league, like the XFL, whenever it comes back.
Yeah, semi-pro leagues, that's where you start with.
Yeah.
You don't implement that right away. You just test out in different.
I'd like to see it at least go somewhere in one of the leagues because I think it's a cool idea. But that is enough of sports, at least for now. We have some things to take care of before we get into some interviews. We have a very interesting legislation that I didn't know existed or didn't know it did not exist. So, President Joe Biden yesterday signed legislation making lynching a federal crime, notching a victory for a proposal that previously has failed 200 times. Biden affixed his signature at a ceremony in the Rose Garden of the White House as the bill was named for Emmett Till, the 14-year-old boy lynched in 1955, and would classify lynching as a crime under existing federal hate crime statuses. For those who don't know, Till was abducted and murdered for allegedly looking the wrong way at a white woman while visiting Mississippi in August 1955. Around 200 anti-lynching bills have been introduced from 1882 to 1986, with all of them failing to clear Congress. After signing the bill, Biden had this to say, quote, "Thank you for never giving up. No federal law has ever expressly prohibited lynching, none until today." The Senate had passed the measure without opposition earlier this month after the House approved the bill 422-3 in February. Cory Booker and the Senate's only Black Republican, Tim Scott of South Carolina, introduced the bill in the Senate the same day the House acted. Biden mentioned Booker and Scott, among others, in his remarks on Tuesday. According to the NAACP, 4,743 lynchings occurred from 1882 to 1968, with 3,446 of them being Black. I have two thoughts when I think about this. One, how is this not a federal crime? I don't know why it would take that long for that to be signified as one. Secondly, who were the three people that voted against this in February? Like, is that not concerning for someone in high power to be voting against that?
That was my first thought as well. Like, I saw you said it was 422-3. Who was it 3?
Exactly. Like, who actually sat in that room and was like, you know what? Lynchings are not a federal crime. Like, how is that? I don't even understand how someone could have that mindset on just such a, like, that makes no sense to me.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah. And for it to fail 200 times as well?
Well, that was also in the time where
No, like I get it, but even up until what was it, 1986? Yeah.
That's crazy to think about because 1986, you don't think about that as like too long ago.
No, it's not.
I was just gonna say it's not.
It really isn't.
Yeah, that's post civil rights era as well. So you've had all this progression. Just the fact that it's failed this many times, it's just crazy to think about. Thankfully, it's finally got passed, and we don't have
Yeah,
to worry about it anymore.
that is tough to even comprehend. This
That could have
is.
taken this long.
It makes no sense how that could take that long.
Yeah.
My thinking though is like, so if it wasn't considered a federal crime, like what were they saying?
Just state crime, just like a normal like murder charge, probably.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah.
So I've looked up the 3 people who voted against it.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Go figure, it was 3 Republicans.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to play my favorite game called Are They Old and Are They White?
Hey, okay.
For number 1, Andrew Clyde.
They're white.
Old and white.
Old too?
Yeah.
Not Andrew.
Chip Roy.
Oh, he's definitely old. And white.
Old and white
Yeah.
and bald with a
Yep.
stupid looking goatee. He looks like a supervillain. Thomas Maisie.
I'm just gonna say white on that one.
Yeah.
White, middle aged. Also stupid looking.
yes. That's absurd.
Come back next time when Republicans do more stupid stuff.
Only
on
here on
air.
WMSC 90.3 Upper Montclair. So and part of me is glad that it's happening, but part of me is very disappointed that it took this long. But we're gonna move on from this story. Aidan, we need to talk about school.
Of course. So, a high school in Morris County is moving back the start of the day by 40 minutes, starting in September, amid long-time concerns that teenagers are not getting enough sleep. The impending scheduling change at Chatham High School comes as 2 state lawmakers are proposing that high school classes in New Jersey start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. Classes at the high school currently start at 7:40 a.m. or will begin at 8:20 a.m. for the 2022 to 2023 school year. School Superintendent Michael LaSousa notified parents in a letter last week of scheduling changes that also include later starts in pre-kindergarten through 5th grade. Unaffected is Chatham Middle School, where classes will continue starting at 7:55 a.m. Superintendent LaSousa said, quote, based on the data we have, the majority of our middle school students are getting enough sleep, but the number steeply declines as they move through the grades. Wow, 40 minutes is going to make such a large difference to the cripplingly poor sleep schedule most students have, either due to debilitating homework schedules, awful assignments, terrible workload,
That's tough.
and etc. But 40 minutes is going to make a huge difference.
Mhm.
This is such a wonderful change.
I always thought that like starting early though, like it sucks, but it's also like better.
You
'cause
get out
end
earlier, yeah.
early. Like my high school starts at 7:15.
Yeah, mine was 7:25.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was
And we were
7:05.
out by like I think
7:05.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
brutal.
god!
I think that was probably mine as well, Aidan.
That's
I got out at like
crazy.
1 p.m.
Really?
Yeah.
out at 1:45.
You guys got
Oh,
out at 1?
I got a
Yeah,
2:20.
when did you get out?
I got out 2:20, I think is when we got out.
Yeah, you had a whole extra
Same.
hour.
That's what
Did they
some-
change that?
That's
What'd you do?
Well, I think it's like different.
I guess
for
so.
some.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Congrats to you guys, I guess.
I always found it weird that like adults work 9 to 5, but we have to go to school by like 7:30. Like
No, literally.
Yeah.
that makes no sense. Like why do we have to wake up a whole 2 hours earlier just to go to school?
I feel you. It definitely the high school timing needs to change. Just school timings in general need to change. I don't know. That's interesting. I guess the idea is that it gets enough time for parents to send their kids to school, kind of deal.
I
Before they go to
understand that.
work?
Yeah.
That's
Don't
like,
get me don't get me wrong. I didn't mind sucking it up because you were right. Because I started at like 1 o'clock.
mhm.
But I remember my sleep schedule being so brutal because you would have to wake up by like 6 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
most of the time.
That's
like
when my alarm was set.
5:30. So you
5:30?
Well, some people wake up at 5:30.
Ain't no way.
Get a lot of stuff done.
Not in
But-
high school, man.
No, but you would only end up getting to bed around like 2, 3 a.m. because we were all kids, teenagers. You would do your homework like from midnight late into the night because no one wants to waste their afternoon doing it.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, but the 40 minutes, it's definitely helpful, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, for me in high school, it probably took like 30 minutes to get ready. So, could have got a little bit more time to sleep in, I guess. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What would be your ideal start time for you guys? 9 to 5 is what you were saying?
Not an 8-hour school day. No way.
Mm.
Probably like probably like a 9 to like 3:30.
So you're saying move up the schedule and reduce the hours.
Well, no, because if I was doing a 7:25 to 2:20, that's how many hours? It's 6 hours.
Yeah.
So if I do a 9 to 3:30, that's what, 5.5.
Yeah.
So 9 to 4.
9 to 4. All right.
That's 7 hours though. So 9 to 3 it would be.
You're doing a lot of math right now in the
9 to
morning,
3,
man.
9 to 3,
This
it
this
works.
is
That's 6
not a
hours.
math show.
That's 6 hours, 9 to 3.
Lana, I hope I had the right mic on for you. Would you like to say anything? Are you on talk mic 1, Lana?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Lana. Wait, before you even say anything, when did you start wearing glasses?
I've had glasses all my life. I just haven't been wearing them.
Wow. All right. Well, that's something a nerd would say. And we're gonna take a no, I'm kidding, Lana. We both have glasses. It's okay, guys. For radio listeners, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, but now it is Lana's time to shine because we are bored out of our minds for the upcoming week. And we need to, fill in the gaps with a movie, with a video game, with something. Lana, please tell us what to do.
Well, first we have Moonshot coming out on Thursday on HBO Max, which is rated PG-13. Like many 20-somethings her age, Sophie, played by Lana Condor, is faced with a world of choices. Sure, there's the future stuff, the family stuff, the job stuff, but where she is truly confused is on the one big choice, the momentous one, the top list one that stands out. What to do about him? Her long-term BF Calvin, played by Mason Gooding, has moved with his family and taken a job out of town, as in way out of town. As a published scientist, Calvin's posting was supposed to be temporary, and now that temporary is beginning to read more like permanent. Then there's Waltz, played by Cole Sprouse, who is also confronted with choices, but maybe not so many. He's pretty content with his going nowhere assistant barista job in a college bookshop and his solitary existence. That is until he meets Ginny, played by Emily Rudd, and the closing time to sunrise hours he spends with her convinces him that she's the one. The time just flies, but sadly at dawn, so does Ginny, off to where her new life is waiting. A romantic comedy with a twist, Moonshot follows Walt and Sophie as they join forces in order to be reunited with their significant others, embarking upon a lively journey that winds up taking them both wildly and unexpectedly off course.
Wow. Amina, I'm sure that movie is made for
I'm
you.
gonna watch it.
I knew it. I was like, this is a Hallmark movie right now.
Did you see the trailer?
No, but is it good? Is it actually something you knew about before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this is like I brought it up because like I've been seeing this trailer everywhere lately.
Moonshot. All right.
We were talking about it before. There's just so many movies with the word moon in it.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
Moonfall, Moonshot, Moonlight,
It's definitely a
Moon
thing.
Knight, the new show that's coming out on Disney Plus. There's
Oh,
just so many-
true.
so
Is it a
many moons.
message?
Yeah.
Are there aliens on the
Does
moon?
Hollywood want us to know about the moons? Is that a conspiracy theory set up by the Illuminati? The Illuminati it was involved with the moon.
Dude,
They have a moon base there.
what if they are the moon?
Does the Illuminati control the moon?
These are all hard-hitting questions here.
What if we were on the moon the whole time?
For real.
Was the moon landing fake?
Imagine.
No, because the Illuminati set the moon landing. They were already there.
Were we
Mm.
right as children? Was the moon actually made out of cheese all along?
It was. But was it dairy-free cheese? Anyways, that's enough about moons and cheese and Cole Sprouse. We got another movie to
That's
talk about.
true. Morbius comes out on Friday in theaters, which is rated PG-13. Dangerously ill with a rare blood disorder and determined to save others suffering his same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. What at first appears to be a radical success soon reveals itself to be a remedy potentially worse than the disease.
Wow. Here's the thing about this movie. I feel like I don't really know anything about it, and it's surprising for a Marvel movie, I think, where it's like the hype for it just isn't there, I guess, for me. I don't know if that's the case for everyone else, but I like this is something like, I'll wait until it's on Disney or something.
I saw the trailer during Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was sort
Mhm.
of like, it looks all right.
Yeah.
But like the reviews have come out, and it's sort of getting like drugged through the mud.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah,
I
apparently
heard
they're
it was
saying it's
pretty
worse than
bad.
like the second Venom movie that just came out.
Oh, wow.
So
That's tough to do,
I
guys.
don't know. I mean, I generally like I
Huh.
pay attention to reviews a little bit. I try to like make my own impression if I can. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Jared Leto, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I really don't think he's a good actor at all.
Yeah, I think we could probably relax with that, Hollywood. Like, well, we don't need Jared Leto to be every superhero movie now.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He's also an awful person. I don't like him very much.
And if Aidan's saying that, you know he's a bad person. Lana, what's next?
All right, and last in the movie category, we have Better Nate Than Ever.
Oh, God.
That comes out on Friday on Disney Plus and is rated PG. In Disney's musical comedy
Ugh.
Better Nate Than Ever, 13-year-old Nate Foster has big Broadway dreams. There's only one problem. He can't even land a part in the school play. But when his parents leave town, Nate and his best friend Libby sneak off to the Big Apple for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to prove everyone wrong. A chance encounter with Nate's long-lost aunt Heidi turns his journey upside down, and together they must learn that life's greatest adventures are only as big as your dreams.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who is watching that? Amin, are you watching this?
No.
Good. Thank you.
I know my roommate will be watching this because my roommate's a Disney guy, so he watches. a lot of
JT?
JT.
No.
Yeah.
That
Really?
was such a
Yeah.
heartbreak.
There are so
Oh.
many bad movies I've had to just sit in the room while he's watching them. I'm like, dude, this is horrible. And
That's
he's just like,
disgusting.
no, you just think everything's bad. I go, no, because I think it's terrible. I know this movie's gonna be bad, and I know I'm gonna have to sit through it. And it's gonna be horrible,
Wow.
and I'm not gonna like it.
JT,
it's a
find a better movie, man.
Musical,
Like, I like Disney, but oh gosh.
This one just sounds bad.
Yeah, I've like seen the trailer for it.
And can we just say, I feel like it's time to pack it up with the movies and these 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds running away,
I
going
know.
off into these big cities, leaving the state. And I'm like, that's literally like impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no like train operators just gonna see a 12-year-old boy on a train by himself and be like, you know what? Yeah, you can go to New York.
But
City
here's
by
the thing:
yourself."
when he starts singing, then the
Oh, yeah,
operators
the-
sway.
No,
Oh.
there's for sure about to be a song. And then it never makes sense because they always like cause the most ruckus
Yeah.
wherever they go. And I'm
Right.
like, they should have been arrested.
And for some, and like
Mhm.
they'll somehow get like the presidential suite at like the Ritz
Exactly.
for some reason, like just because they're there.
Home Alone.
Then it's like the front desk person's like, "Oops, sorry. I guess it was an accident."
All our rooms are booked. You get the presidential suite.
Yeah. You're like, huh? Is that how it works?
And then they eat the entire mini bar. Oh, I had too much candy. It's
Yeah.
every movie. Home Alone set the bar.
Yeah, and no one has really changed that concept. It's like the same thing. But yeah, so those are the movies, Lana.
Yeah.
Apparently we have some games to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So Moss Book 2 comes out Thursday for PlayStation VR. Didn't even know PlayStation had a VR, but all right. And Weird West comes out Thursday for the PS5, Xbox Series XS, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Why did PlayStation VR catch like the most wild stray ever, Lana? What did they do to you?
No, I didn't think it existed.
That's fair. You know, I got to be honest, Lana. I don't know what in the world one of those two things are. I didn't know Ma's book had of one.
I guess
Um,
it did. I don't really know either. The website, we were talking about this earlier. The website I got this off, they don't give me descriptions of the game.
Hmm.
They only just give me like the ratings and like what it's gonna be on and like the name and
Huh.
like the genre.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm looking at like the cover poster for Moss Book 2. I'm like, what is this? It's like a mouse with like a sword. on its
Pointing at
back.
your webcam.
Wait, I don't know. Like here, wait. Aidan,
Oh yeah, I got you.
Moss Book 2.
look at this.
Audio viewers love you to death.
Oh,
It's a mouse with like a sword on its back. It's like
I'm gonna try to screen share, guys, because now I need to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
But are you guys gonna play either one of these two things? No.
I'll have VR, so
I'm still playing Elden Ring. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Oh, how's that going?
I'm on New Game Plus and it's draining my sanity. It's
Hey.
over.
What is New Game Plus?
So I beat the game, and because it broke me, I went to go play it again. And now I
hey,
beat it
new
again.
season of Fortnite dropped.
It did. No
Guys.
building.
No building. I've been going.
I
I have
playing
found
a
Moss Book
lot.
1.
it's a mouse.
It's literal. You were not lying. It's a mouse.
with a sword on its back.
Yep, that seems about right. I don't know about y'all, but I'm really excited. I love the Mouse Book 1. It's an
Sure.
incredible
Yeah.
journey. Look at that mouse go. Him and his big ears. I don't know where else to go with that. Hey, but Lana, we appreciate you. The movies were, pretty great selection. I thought pretty good. I'm interested to see more of the reviews about Morbius to see if it really is about to be the worst Marvel movie of all time. And Moonshot sounds like a great story for people that like rom-coms. But we're gonna move on. Why are Panda stick? That's a question I'm sure everyone was wondering. Let's be honest. Do you guys like pandas really quickly before we get into this story?
That's really cute.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered why are they that big? How can they get so abnormally large? Has that ever popped up into your mind?
No.
Not really, no.
Oh, well, I guess it was only me then. Well, scientists have an answer for this question that is apparently only thought about by me. It turns out the animal's gut bacteria changes into seasons when nutritious bamboo shoots become available. This helps the bears store more fat and could compensate for the lack of nutrients in the seasons when there are only bamboo leaves to chew on. Pandas eat between 26 to 84 pounds of bamboo each day, depending on what part of the plants they are consuming. One researcher added, quotes, "We've known these pandas have a different set of gut microbiota during the shoe eating season for a long time, and it is very obvious that they are chubbier during this time of year." End quote. There you have it, guys. That's it's very interesting knowledge to have.
Kung Fu Panda.
I didn't really like that.
You didn't like Kung Fu Panda?
He was just annoying after a while.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
they made
What?
the
You don't
I
like
show-
Poe? You like Jack Black?
I gotta agree. Yeah, it was kind of annoying.
I'm
after a
gonna
while.
third that. I think Kung Fu Panda is just very.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 2.
That one is also.
Fantastic movie.
See, when I like to
Hmm.
think about an animated panda, I just think about We Bare Bears. So
We Bear Bears?
That's a good show.
Yeah.
On
What
Cartoon
is that?
Network.
It's about like these three bears. They like live together. Like they like do like human things. It's very chill.
Ah, so it's like regular show.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Okay.
Regular show. I
Regular
love
show's
Regular
great.
Show.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Aiden. Yeah, I need to know your opinions.
Oh,
Is Kung Fu Panda good, bad, in between, average?
I think it was good for what it was. It was an
Mm.
early 2000s animation. I think Jack Black did good in it. I
Yeah.
liked the soundtrack. Mr. Ping's noodles made me happy because I was like, hee, that man shares the same name as me.
The Dragon Warrior. Okay.
But no,
Master Shifu, Master Oogway.
Master Oogway. Come on. It was good. It was for what it was a good movie.
For what it was. What would you give it out of 10 then?
6, 9.
7 out of 10.
8, 6,
7 out of 10.
Huh. You were saying 6.9?
6.8, 6.9.
6.8. You were just saying how great Kung Fu Panda was.
That's an average score. That's an average.
But you were saying how great it was.
Well, it's
But
great
yeah,
for
I'm
like
not.
an
I'm not saying
animated
it's like the
kids
greatest movie of all time.
Okay. So
listen.
Okay.
Only all-time fantastic movies get a 9 or plus. Even an
Okay.
8+ is hard to get in my books.
Okay.
I'm very like stickler when it comes to that sort of like rating movies.
So I'm just gonna put you on the spot then.
Okay.
What would be like a 9 for you?
The Dark Knight is definitely a 9 plus.
Okay.
My favorite movie of all time has a bad no word in it, so I cannot say it, but it's a Tarantino movie. That's a 9 plus. Pulp Fiction 9 plus for me.
Mhm.
I think like The Godfather's gotta be a 9 plus. It's just
Okay.
one of the greatest movies ever made. The classics, Wizard of Oz, 9+.
You think The Wizard of Oz is a 9+
It just
movie?
technically
That is a
what it was
classic.
made, just it is 9+.
No,
Um,
no.
Isaiah, come on.
I've seen The Wizard of Oz.
Just think about the time period.
Here's
it
the
was
thing: we
released in.
can't do that anymore. You can't think in the mindset of the 1920s or
It
1940s,
was
whenever it was made.
1939.
Exactly. You can't just take your mind and put it in a 1939's mindset.
But I'm saying, but for the time period it came out in,
It
was
doesn't matter. Does it
technologically
age well
phenomenal.
today? No, I can say it adamantly. The Wizard of Oz, if I put it on today, you put anyone in front of that TV, most people are gonna change the channel now. It's a channel changer.
I'll watch it.
No way.
I will.
I don't
I
know,
will.
man.
I will
Listen,
watch
I
it.
have nothing but respect for the Wizard of Oz, what they did. I appreciate it. I'm just saying that movie does not age well. It just doesn't. There's some things that do not age well. Like think about this. When you play the original Super Mario Brothers, you can play it, right? It's enjoyable for the most part. You know, it's just
Yeah.
jumping. The graphics don't matter. When it comes to this movie, when you sit down and watch it, it's just so you just
But
get
it's a 9+.
it's a -9.
I'm not a
Um,
huge fan of like, what's the movie called? Citizen Kane, like
Mm.
the so-called greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
But like, I'll admit it's a 9+, just because.
Now, is that a 9+ because you like it, or is it a 9+ because everyone else is saying
I
it's a
feel
great
like,
movie?
yeah, I feel like it's 9+ just because.
See, but you can't have that. This is your rankings, man.
If we're going
What
off
do
of-
you go? What are
if
you
we're going
watching?
off of my rankings, Citizen Kane's probably like a 6.2.
And there you go. Put it on a T-shirt. Citizen Kane's is a 6.2.
I really need to see Citizen King because I know so many people who are just like, I don't really care for it.
It's a 6.2.
See, and there it is. Another movie. We can
But
appreciate
Wizard
it
of
what
Oz
it
to me-
had.
Wizard of Oz to me is probably like a 7.4, 7.5.
But where was it earlier? A 9.
Yeah, well,
and now
if
you're
we're talking
being
about
honest
like
with
the
me.
all-time great movies, it's probably a 9+.
But are you gonna watch it? Is
I
it
will.
something that
I will
tingles
definitely
your
watch it.
soul?
If it's on, I'll watch it.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
You never watched it?
That's drinking milk out of a gallon to me.
You really think it's that bad?
Yeah.
What,
It
what's
just
your
doesn't-
ranking
Drinking
for it?
milk out of a gallon is full.
I would here's the thing. Once again, I respect Wizard of Oz. I appreciate what they did for movies, blah 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 blah. I would probably give it a 5. Like I would never watch The Wizard of Oz on purpose.
Oh wow.
Even if it was on by accident, I would put headphones on.
Wow.
That's understandable. I don't hate the movie as much as I think you do.
That's
I
fair.
think I would watch it
A
with
seven-
like in
a 7.4,
moderation.
right? A 7.4, 7.5?
Yeah, I think I could watch it in moderation.
Amina, would you watch The Wizard of Oz?
Yes, but not like willingly. Like I'm not, like you said, I'm not
Mm.
gonna be like, oh yeah, let me put on the Wizard of Oz. But like if it was on, I wouldn't watch the whole thing, but I probably watch some clips and then I get up and leave.
Mhm. Lana.
Understandable.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I like watching old movies.
Hmm.
Like I actually kind of
Yeah.
want to. Last year, I got to see Casablanca for the first time.
That's a
and I
great
actually
movie.
really liked
It
it. And
is.
That's a
I
great
would like to
movie.
see it again.
Here's the thing. I like some old movies as well. I'm just saying, The Wizard of Oz, not a good movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's
Hot
your
take.
best movie?
Hmm?
What's your best movie?
That's hard to say because I don't know if I have like a best movie. I will say one movie that always comes to mind is the movie Train to Busan. That's like a really good. I think it's
That's
one
your
of
favorite movie?
Huh?
That's your favorite movie?
No, it's just the first movie that came to my mind that
Oh.
I'm like, oh, that's a good movie that I really enjoyed because I think that was probably one of like the best zombie movies I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Because it's very emotional.
Isn't
with
it made in Japan?
Korea.
Korea.
Yeah. So I thought it was very good. And I'm blanking on other things. It's something I probably have to like look on purpose to see what other movies come to my mind.
What's your favorite movie? Because you're a film guy.
I'd say probably
Shrek 2.
yes. My favorite all-time classic.
Shrek the Third.
Honestly,
the
probably
Halls.
Baby Driver. Baby Driver's really
Baby
good.
Driver's my top one.
Swiss
Mm.
Army Man's really good. Midsommar is really good. Those are probably my top 3.
Okay. Amina,
Amina,
do you
yeah.
have a favorite?
I do, but you guys are haters, so
Let's
you're
hear it.
probably not
Hallmark.
gonna-
Let's hear it.
Christmas.
No. So I like Matilda.
That's a good movie.
Mary Poppins, the original. The original. I just knew you were gonna.
No, I'm letting you finish. I'm letting you finish.
And you guys probably never watched it, but it's this movie called A Little Princess, and it's really good.
So you're on like very nostalgia, huh?
Those are just great. Like
Okay.
I'll watch those on my own willingly, back to
Mhm.
back if I had.
Does
to.
it like bring good memories at all for you, or is it just like you're strictly this movie is pure art?
I think it's like the memories. thing.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought because all those are like movies you watch when you're growing up.
Yeah, and like I feel like current movies, I feel like I like movies, but I don't think I have like
They don't make movies the way they used to back in my day.
Too much green screen.
I know there's too much CGI. That Transformers is absolutely insane.
That Michael Bay.
That Michael Bay guy, very problematic. Lana, what are some of your favorite movies?
I don't know if I have like an absolute like top.
You're a
favorite.
film major, Lana.
Yeah, that happens a lot with a lot of film majors.
I know.
I know so many film majors who like I hate watching movies, but I like making them. I mean, Batman '89 is up there. I actually did like Baby Driver too.
Yeah.
Never got to see the whole thing, but I saw most of it, and it was pretty good.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah, there you have it, guys. I think for me, I've always been more of a TV show person than movie guy. But yeah,